Good morning, Hayom Yom, Iyar, the 23rd day of the Iyar. So there is a very interesting concept in the Gemara known as Shlucho Shel Adam Kimoso. And what that means is that when you appoint somebody to be your Shliach, when you appoint somebody to be your emissary, to be your representative, it's not just a practical thing that now they'll look out for your interests, but actually we look at it as if that person is actually you. That person actually embodies you. And anything that person does, it's like you did. Anything that happens to that person, it's as if it happened to you. Now the one catch is that to be your Shliach, to represent you in this way, that person has to stay true to the Shluchos. They have to listen to and follow your instructions. If they disregard your instructions, if they betray their Shluchos, they are no longer your Shliach. They no longer represent you. Nothing they do reflects on you. Now everyone and everything in the world are obviously agents of Hashem, or in a sense Hashem's Shluchim. But most people are spiritually not in touch, not in tune, and they don't realize that they represent Hashem. And therefore they don't represent Hashem. We don't call them Hashem's Shluchim. But angels, malachim, that are very in tune, very in touch, they see Hashem, they realize Hashem's truth, they identify with Hashem. They identify with Hashem to such an extent that often an angel will call itself God. Many times in the Torah, an angel will be talking to somebody, and it will introduce itself as Hashem. It will say, I Hashem. Even though it's not Hashem, it's an angel. But it's so synonymous with Hashem, it identifies so strongly with Hashem to the point that it is fear and it is able to call itself Hashem. Now the Rebbe tells us that neshamas, Jewish souls, they identify with Hashem even stronger. Neshamas identify with Hashem to an even higher degree. Now there's another Hayom Yom entry, the entry of Yud Tammuz, which actually elaborates a little bit on why neshamas identify with Hashem stronger than angels do. But in the source that today's Hayom Yom is taken from, there is a reason given for what's so special about a neshama. Why a neshama represents Hashem and Atzma so strongly. And that is that neshamas are the only ones who could do what Atzmas cannot. Neshamas are the only ones who could do what Atzmas will not. And that is, Atzmas, Hashem, wants a dira b'tachtainim, wants to bring Mashiach. And what that means is Hashem desires, Hashem wants, that everyone and everything in this world should recognize Him, should welcome Him. But Atzmos doesn't make that happen. The one who makes that happen, the one who brings about a Dira Tachtenim, the one who brings Mashiach, is Neshamas, our Neshamas. Neshamas come down into this world. They come down into this world and they join a certain neighborhood, a certain environment. They come down into a specific body. They come down into a specific personality, into a specific Nefesh Bahamas. And they work tirelessly at making that Nefesh Bahamas realize, at making that body realize, at making that environment realize that they are really, deep down, one with Hashem. Hashem is the only truth. Everything and everyone are really one with Hashem and love Hashem, and are at one with Hashem. And the neshama basically, by becoming one with the body, by becoming one with the Nefesh Bahamas, they become one being, and the neshama says, I am one with Hashem, and we're one being, so that allows for the Nefesh Bahamas to eventually realize that it as well is one with Hashem. And that's how neshama represents Hashem in this world, represents Atmos in this world, and basically makes everyone and everything realize that everything is Atmos. It brings the truth of Hashem to everyone and everything. And the Rebbe continues that we neshamas, we Jews, are not just Shluchim of Hashem, but we are Shluchim and representatives of the Rebbe, of the Alter Rebbe, because all the Chabad Rebbeim, what they've accomplished, what they've done, everything they stand for, is actually basically just developing the vision of the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe is the seed of Chabad. He's the primal seed. And everything else about us, all the Chabad Rebbeim, and everything we do, is just basically expanding on and developing the Alter Rebbe. And the Alter Rebbe basically embodies all of Chabad, all of a Rebbe. And we are all representatives and shluchim of the Alter Rebbe, of the Rebbe, and our job basically is to bring the truth of the Rebbe, to introduce the Rebbe to every corner of the earth. The Rebbe doesn't create a Dira Tachtenim. The Rebbe doesn't go and introduce himself to every corner of the earth. It is our job, as neshamas, as Chassidim, to bring the truth of the Rebbe to everyone and everything, to every single corner of the earth. And to do that, though, to be the Rebbe Shliach, to represent the Rebbe, to embody the Rebbe wherever we may go, we need to be true to the Rebbe. We need to be true to the Shluchos. We need to do what the Rebbe wants. But when we do that, then we fully embody the Rebbe. We fully become the Rebbe. We fully identify with the Rebbe, and we have the strong identification with the Rebbe. And then everything we do is Rebbe. Everything we do is Chassidus. Everything we do is aligned with Chassidus, infused with Chassidus, infused with Rebbe. When we walk, it's Gate to Chassid. You see Rebbe walking, you see Chassidus walking, you see a Chassid walking. When we eat, it's Esther Chassid. A Chassid is eating. And what it means to be a Chassid is someone who is just reflective of a Rebbe. When you sleep, it's Shlef to Chassid. It's a Rebbe sleeping. It's Chassidus sleeping. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.